ready. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. This one I find very interesting. And this, again, as I was putting my list together, it helped focus me to establish the list. One of the things I talked a lot with Anthony in particular this year is music, score. And there was one film that really stood out. And I thought during that time, it detracted from the film. But it then, because it was so memorable, I had to put it in there. I'm gonna talk about it in a second, but I'm gonna throw it at Anthony for him first to give his top 3 picks for best score. What would you see as your top 3 films for best score for the year, Anthony?
I very quickly, I won't say what I think it is, but it is a good score, but it didn't work for the movie if that's what you're choosing. My favorite score of the year, number 1 is The Brutalist. I think that score just it works in unison with imagery, and it's just so brilliant. And it's not often anymore these days that we get a big orchestral score, and that was, I mean, the whole movie is old school filmmaking, and it's just such a bold score and a moving score, and the symmetry with the imagery and what was happening and the dramatic arcs of everything and everybody in it. It just blew me away, as did the film. But
awesome. And I just want to really quick, I'm sorry, in preface, if you can't think of a top 3, if you can only think of a number 1, you don't have to give me a top 3 for the both of you. Just FYI, in case, because it took me a little bit of, as we know, it takes us time to, narrow it down. So
I've got it.
So you got some more? You got some more? Go ahead.
I do. I have 2 and 3.
Okay.
Number 2 is right behind your head, sir. Flow. I love synth music. It's not, but people like Tangerine Dream and Brian Eno, and beautiful. Again, what I just said with have you seen Flow, John?
Yeah.
With the imagery that's going on, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that in a little while. It's part of what is so moving about that movie. And as the movie carries you just kind of float, forgive me, with that movie. And the ambient score is a part of that, I think. So Flow is my second. And the third one is over your right shoulder in the corner. The Substance. Another ambient score. It's as weird and trippy as the film, but one never overpowers the other. But the score stands out, which very few do these days for me. And that's my top 3.
All right. I like that list. I might have something similar to yours on there as well. How about you, John? Can you think of any? You don't have to give me a top 3 if you only can think of a few.
No, I can give you 3. I can give you 3. One, this is one that, unless you've seen it, you would know. But one I would give to A Real Pain, because the whole background is Anthony and I saw it, I think it's Chopin. The whole thing, because it was a nod to because the film was set in Poland, and he's like the biggest. And they even said he's like the biggest thing to come out of Poland. So, yeah, literally the entire score was Chopin. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Yeah. Secondly, I got to do Piece by Piece, because Pharrell did the entire soundtrack, and the entire soundtrack was fun. It was very there was happy, there was sad, it was pretty diverse, spread out, evoked a lot of emotions. The third I would have to give to what did I have on here? Oh, The Wild Robot. I like that.
Wow. Okay. I think both of you have partial pieces of my list. So I gave number 3 The Wild Robot for me. Okay. So I'm with you on that, John. Number 2, me and Anthony were back and forth on this since we saw the film. But it works with that film. When I look back at it, Anthony, I think about that score without the film, and I don't know if it's the same film. Challengers, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross. I also attended a press conference recently with that, and I gotta give it its nod. I gotta give it its nod. It just made that film. And it was weird. And as you know, we hated it. Me and Anthony kind of hated it at first, but then it worked. Did you see Challengers, John?
No, I didn't. I didn't see Challengers.
Check it out, man. I'm sure you're gonna like kind of feel the same, but it might bring you in. But I don't know. I'd be curious your thoughts on it. But it's very interesting. But I think it's also what made the film for me. And I know I feel it's blasphemous what I'm saying right now, Anthony, because of everything we said.
Only the one scene, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
you guys ragged on it pretty hard. You ragged on it pretty hard to me.
We did.
Yep. So I gave Challengers the number 2 and number 1. To all the points that Anthony stated, to me, it's the substance. That soundtrack was killer in more ways than one. It just worked. It worked. All right. So let's keep it moving. Best song of the year. Again, same deal. You don't have to give a 3 if you don't have it. Let me throw it to you now, John. I'll have you kick us off. Give me your top 3 for best song of the year and which film that it came from. If you can think of them.
Best song of the year. It would be cheap and tacky if I just defaulted to Wicked. That would be too easy. So I'm not going to do that.
I respect that though. Wicked has some tracks.
Wicked had some tracks. I'm also not a theater kid, and they get on my nerves. So no, I'm not going to do that. So I'll give the self-titled track "Piece by Piece" by Pharrell as an easy default.
I was wondering if you're going to go back to that because you can go to that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only one I can think of offhand.
No worries. And then I know I put you all on the spot. So FYI, guys, I put these fellas on the spot just because we can get their true and authentic, real quick opinion. So it also shows what really sat with them. So thank you, John, for coming up with that on the fly. Yeah. Anthony, now it's on you. Can you think of your top 3 or 1?
I'm going to have to do 1. But my answer is thus, and I'm embarrassed because that's pretentious. My answer is thus. And I'm embarrassed because I don't know the name of the song.
Okay.
And I own the song.
Oh.
It's the Bike Riders over the end credits.
From Bike Riders.
It's blah, 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 by blah, blah, blah. I own it. I have the CD of said group, and I can't think of who it is or what the song is.
Okay.
But that's the best song of the year. And it was written for the...
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great song. So all of you have seen Bike Riders, the very last song over the credits.
And such a great film, but we'll be, I'm sure, talking about that in a little bit. For me, gentlemen, honorable mention. Actually, no, it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. Never mind. I thought I had it wasn't in there, but again, I've been going over my list back and forth a lot. Number 3, Kiss the Sky, that was featured on The Wild Robot. As we mentioned earlier, me and John was in our pick for the best score. One of the best tracks on there was Kiss the Sky. I think it closed out the film, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But wonderful song there. Next song, number 2, from Exhibiting Forgiveness, Bricks by Audra Day. She was one of the leads in the film, but she also performed this song as well, and she is amazing. Go check out my interview on the channel with Audra Day as well.
I still need to see that film, by the way.
Great film. One of the year's best. Definitely in there. And actually, I'm going to have a contest on the channel. I actually received 20 codes to give away to fans. So I have a code for Exhibiting Forgiveness, y'all. If you haven't seen it, stay tuned for that contest or giveaway. Nice. Will and Harper, that great documentary with Will Smith and his friend, not Will Smith, Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
And Harper, I forgot Harper's last name. The song Harper and Will Go West from the documentary Will and Harper. Such a beautiful documentary. But as you watch the film, they're talking about this song. They want to encapsulate their whole journey throughout the film. To me, it's beautiful. It made me cry and gets my top song of the year. Have y'all gentlemen seen Will and Harper?
Yes, it's beautiful.
So beautiful.
It's in the lower part of my top 20. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. All right, so there you go. Those were my nomination picks.